Good morning to everyone for our second pre-papal visit weekly media briefing overview. The pre-papal visit weekly media briefing, now on its second week, aims to give further relevant information of the upcoming pastoral visit of His Holiness Pope Francis to the Philippines this coming January 15 to 19, 2015. Last November 20, last week, we were talking about the general overview of the theme Mercy and Compassion that Pope Francis would like to share with us, and the healing presence of God's love, especially in behalf of the victims of calamities, both natural and man-made. For this week, press briefing, we will focus on Pope's arrival, transportation, security, and accommodation. These are very important concerns we would like to advise the public through you. There are four key elements of our press briefing today. First, the safety of the Pope and the public. Number two, the close collaboration of the Church and the government. Number three, the simplicity of the preparation, which is closely observed in the entire papal visit, as requested by the Holy Father. And fourth, which is good for us, our country, we will show the Holy Father the famous Filipino hospitality at its best. Let us focus on these four areas in our press briefing today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Father Anton Pascual. And now, I shall give you the statements of the panelists, starting off with Ambassador Marciano Painor Jr.
Thank you very much. Friends, good morning. Today we are going to talk about four areas that are very important in the visit of His Holiness the Pope. But I would like just to focus on one particular area, and that's the security. And when we talk about security, it's not only the security of the Pope, but also the security of the people who are there to join the Pope. And here we would like to say that, and like to reiterate the President's commitment that all the government's 100% commitment to the visit of His Holiness the Pope, and offering the resources of government in collaboration and very close collaboration with the Church. But we cannot do this by ourselves. The committee, the Church committee, the government committee, will need the collaboration of everyone. And here we emphasize the role that our compatriots in the Catholic Church who will want to see the Pope, their role as both audience and as actual participants. And here we would like to emphasize more their participation in ensuring that the Pope's visit here will be one which he will remember because of our unique hospitality, the way that we treat our guests, but also in the way that we behave. And this is, I think, one time in our history where we can show to the Pope and to the whole world that we as a people can offer the kind of hospitality that will keep him safe, that will keep everyone safe as well. So those in general terms are what we would like to say for now, and we hope that everyone will take this into their consciousness so that it's not just a question of there being an audience, but rather being a participant to the whole visit of His Holiness the Pope. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Marciano Painor. Now, the next one to give the statement is the Undersecretary of PCOO, the Presidential Communications Operations Office, none other than USEC Jess QU.
Good morning. As mentioned by Ambassador Painor, the government is in close coordination and collaboration with the church, and we will provide all the necessary assistance that will be needed to ensure the safety of the Pope, not only of the Pope, but also of those who will be attending. So we will continue to coordinate with the church on this regarding this matter. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, USEC Jess QU. So now let's go to the statement and hear the statement of Father Jaime Marquez.
For the service committee under the accommodations, we are quite fascinated by the coming of the Holy Father because it comes right after the Christmas joy when we remember that Jesus did not have any accommodations. That is why we are so fascinated and at the same time see this as providential for us because the Holy Father is coming to us at a time when people needs Jesus the most. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Father Jaime Marquez. So let's hear from Father Joselito Hobson for his statement now.
Good morning, everyone. I would just like to deliver the official statement of Bishop Jess Mercado, Bishop of the Diocese of Parañaque, and he is the chairman of the Arrival and Departure Committee. So this is his statement on behalf of the people of Parañaque and of the rest of the Philippines in welcoming the Holy Father. Dear friends, I cannot be present with you this morning because we priests of the Diocese of Parañaque are offering a special Mass for our brother priests and esteemed lay leaders who have passed away in 2014. They have spent their lives for God and for country. We owe them our thanks and our prayers. We're also having our Advent recollection in preparation for the 2015 Year of the Poor. Our theme is Pamayanan ng mga Aba, Bayang Pinagpala. Nevertheless, I am happy to send this greeting to you. We shall be welcoming the Holy Father at dusk on January 15 next year. Despite the gathering darkness, we plan to brighten up the night with the warmth of our love. Pope Francis, as a successor of Saint Peter and the Vicar of Christ, speaks not only for Jesus, but especially in behalf of the poor. When he disembarks from the plane, 1,200 young men and women will greet him with vibrant music and dance. 2 children will offer him flowers. They will be orphans who have come to know God as our Father through the love and care of selfless men and women. Now we are still working on the other details. We shall share them with you so that you can share our excitement. Because Pope Francis has brought us together, men and women of faith, men and women of government. We thank God for the goodwill with which we work together. We are confident that after the Pope's plane has left on January 19, after the red carpet has been rolled up, after the last light bulb has been switched off, we shall sleep soundly with the hope that Filipinos can forge a nation of mercy and compassion through a life of integrity. Personal integrity, integrity in the family, integrity in work and politics, integrity in communities of faith, promoting the integrity of creation. God bless you all. From Bishop Jesse Mercado, Chairman, Arrival and Departure Committee. And before I forget, I have an announcement to make on behalf of Bishop Milo Hubert Vergara, the chairman of the Committee of Information and Media, that our next briefing will be on December 2, 1 p.m. Also here in the same venue. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Father Joselito Hobson. So the floor is now open to your questions. So may I remind our colleagues from the media to kindly approach Ms. Choi here in case you have any questions. And kindly state your name, the media outfit you represent, and then you may ask one question and one follow-up question per turn. Thank you so much. Okay, the gentleman who's wearing a blue t-shirt, please.
Okay, Father Marquez. I'm Manny Mugato of Reuters.
Hello, Manny.
Sir, we only have a concern because as of now, we have heard on the TV and radio that hotels in Manila are already jacking up their prices in anticipation of many people coming to the Pope.
Yes, that's
What-
economics. Yeah.
What can the church or the government do to bring down the prices? Because in South Korea, the highest hotel rate, according to my colleague here, is about $200. But I think Manila Hotel is now charging $400 a night. And the small ones are also raising their prices. Since this is the message of the Pope is mercy and compassion, how can we lower the prices to accommodate all people?
That is an economic question, and I appreciate your question. Maybe we could refer that also to the Department of Tourism so that they could talk to the individual companies. But how we can do that is let us appeal to, to all the business sector to consider all these things, There are many people who are very accommodating. So if you find friends coming from abroad, and if you feel that they are having a hard time with this hotel fees, let us accommodate them in our own homes as well. Okay? If you will have a problem with your friend, you tell me. I can accommodate them in my parish. Okay? All right.
Okay, excuse me, the lady in gray, please.
Morning, I'm Simone. I'm here for Catholic News Service. This question is actually for Ambassador Painor. It's a logistics question. As I understand it, I was not here. In 1995, the crowd control was basically not non-existent, or that it was very difficult to try to make way for people to pass, for media, say, trying to get to events. What kinds of, what are the logistics? How are you going to ensure that we selfishly we will be able to get to the venues we need to get to, and if we could even pass with vehicles, because I understand that we're probably going to be walking all over the place. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your question. I'm sorry I didn't get your name. Sol? Simon. Simon. Yes, I handled the 1995 visit as well. And your observation is correct. We did use police forces to line up the roads, hoping that this would be sufficient to contain the crowds. But the outpouring of enthusiasm when the Pope passed, or when they anticipated the Pope that the Pope was coming, they all moved and pushed forward. So that was the case then. We are continuously trying to see how we can resolve that particular problem without unduly affecting the way that the crowd can see the Holy Father. or be able to have at least visual contact with him. Because if we are to prorate, let's say, the population then and the population now, and the numbers that will be out there on the streets, then the problem becomes a little bit more significant and complicated. So we are still in the process of finding out how we can do it, but barriers definitely will work. There's so many other things that we are considering, but one of the most important things is that, in my opening statement, there should be a close collaboration between and amongst the church, the organizers, both church and government, as well as the people. And so the church is now, through the parishes, encouraging everyone to, in a sense, contain themselves, contain their enthusiasm, so that when they are placed up front, no pushing, no shoveling, just to be able to see His Holiness the Pope. And if I, as a layperson, may just make a statement, as long as I can see His Holiness there and he gives a blessing, then I'm blessed as well, regardless of where I physically am. So if we can, through your help, continue to tell our people that this is the way that it should be done, as it had been done in many other countries where the Pope had visited, where, for instance, in one particular country, they just draw a line. No physical barriers, no police, and nobody steps over the line. So if we can ask our people to have that kind of a concept within here and here, then I think we will be able to resolve that particular logistics problem. Yes, please.
Follow-up. Are you talking like with barangay captains, like if you go down to the smallest unit of where he's going to be passing through?
That's correct. The government's talking to up to the barangay level. The church is talking to the parish level. So we are going down to that level so that we ask our people to participate, rather than just be onlookers and being there for their own personal reasons. So if they are there for their reasons, yes, that's welcome. But if they are there also to help out, ensure that the safety, the physical safety of the Pope is ensured, and their own safety, then we would have both won both sides.
Another question, please. Anybody who would like to? Yes. The lady in black, Miss Rita.
Good morning po. Rida Reyes from GMA7. I would just like to ask, the Pope will be staying here for a total of 4 days, 3 days in Manila and then a whole day in Tacloban. So have you has the government and the church already talked about the possibility of declaring a holiday for all those 4 days, or at least Thursday and Friday? Thank you.
If I may reiterate the statement of the Executive Secretary during the first briefing, he said that we are seriously considering. We are seriously considering, and in due time, will announce if there is going to be holidays on those days. But I recall that when Pope John Paul II came here, I think there were some holidays that were also declared. If only, one, to allow people to join in welcoming the Pope, but second, also so that there will be less traffic on the roads, because there will be massive traffic jams if with the Pope and with all the crowds coming, there will be road closures and detours. So the lesser, if it's a holiday, then people who are going to work will not be affected. So it's under very, very serious and close study. Thank you.
Anybody else? The gentleman at the back wearing a white polo shirt.
Hello, Father Pascual. I'm Vito Barcelo from Manila Standard. Where will Pope Francis stay in Manila and in Tacloban?
Perhaps Father Jimmy Marquez would like to answer that. What is the position?
The Holy Father will be staying in a very secure place and taken care of by the church. I hope you understand, no? We have to keep it low muna. I hope you understand.
Another question, please. Anybody
So ang
would like to
sigurado
ask a
daw po
question?
ay may tutulugan si Pope. Ayan, na tahimik at mahimbing.
Okay, the gentleman in white polo shirt, white and blue.
Father Anton Glanduego, DCWB. Father, may mga reported na may binibigay na raw kayong passes. May gano'n na?
Okay. So yung pong mga kwentong yan is unofficial and not true. Na wala pong ibinibigay na passes, ticket, or special privileges ang simbahan para sa papal visit. Father Lito, would you like to add more?
That's very clear.
Anybody else would like to ask a question? Okay, the gentleman in blue polo shirt.
Good morning. I'm Joel Ginto from AFP. What type of vehicle will the Pope be using when he goes around Manila and in Tacloban?
The Pope will be provided with a Pope Mobile, but again, for security reasons, we would defer mentioning what specific type of vehicle that the Pope will be using. But the government and the church has been in discussions, and we have already decided on what particular vehicle the Pope will be using, and also in consultation with the Vatican. Thank you.
Sir, will this be a closed vehicle that he is visible from the crowd outside, like what John Paul II used in '95?
There will be instances that the Pope will be, definitely the Pope will be visible to the public. No? There will be vehicles that will be open, and there will be times that the Pope will be using closed vehicles. Thank you.
Sir, did the Pope request that he will be allowed to use an open vehicle, like you said, and in which instances will this be used, and won't this raise security concerns?
Again, we would like just to inform the public that this is in consultation with the Vatican. With respect to security concerns, the organizing committee has been in consultations with the Vatican regarding this, and we are considering all possible options to ensure the safety of the Pope.
Okay, I would like to.
I think the color of the papal mobile is white. No.
Okay, follow-up question.
You suggest, so ang mangyayari po is hindi nyo i-divulge talaga yung mga ruta ng Santo Papa? Hanggang kailan po?
Pinag-uusapan pa yun, kasi nga maraming mga konsiderasyon, no? Hindi lang yung yung dadaanan mismo lang, no? Pero yung kapasidad nung dadaanan for crowds at saka for emergencies and for other vehicles, whether kung dumaan tayo doon, pwede ba tayong magre-route? Yung mga ganun. Kasi nga, as much as possible, ang sabi ng Papa is, let us not try to disrupt normal, regular work. No? He realizes that his presence here will definitely disrupt. Pero kung pwede nating ma-minimize, yun ang gagawin natin. So, sa ngayon ho, talagang pinag-aaralan ho natin lahat ng mga kalsada natin, yung mga lugar na pupuntahan niya, at saka yung mga, alam naman ho natin, may mga construction areas, makakasikip ba ito, yung mga ganun ho. So, at an appropriate time, sasabihin ho namin sa inyo lahat, and I think everyone will have an opportune time to at least to see, digest, and plan. Because anyway, 2/3 of the activities of the Pope will be within the Metro Manila area, and the one in Tacloban, one day lang naman yon. Again, limited din yung roads nila doon. So, yun, pinag-aaralan ho lahat. All possible all possibilities, all possible combinations, and mga ganun ho. So, meantime, kung pwede ho, pakihintay na lang. Thank you.
Okay, may we call on the gentleman in light blue, Paula.
Hi, sir, pwede kay Ambassador Painor or the others. Sir, in terms of just in terms of preparing for this event, we'd like to know what estimate of the crowd size are you looking at in terms of security preparations for the Luneta Mass and the event in Tacloban? And can we ask you what's the structure of the security committee is? Which is the lead agency? Is it PNP or AFP or PSG? And who do we coordinate with in terms of the security and in terms of the media movement?
Thank you very much, Jim. That was a very, very comprehensive question. Crowd size, if we do prorate the estimated crowd during Pope John Paul and the population at the time, which was 65, 70 million, and we had an estimate of about 4 to 5 million. In fact, some said a high of 6. We're now 100 million. So, but if we include all the crowds, it will be more than 6, I think. If we no, for the entire visit. The Luneta visit is constrained by the physical size of the Luneta. But if you include all the streets that lead to Luneta where people will already stop there because there's no way for them to move forward because the place is already full. If we connect all of that, then we have a very, very huge crowd. We don't know exactly how much. We have people who are determining by the square meter size, no, and per square meter, let's say about 4 or 5, packed 6, but comfortable 4. So we are doing all of that in a scientific basis as we can. In Tacloban, it's the same. Very limited area at the apron of the airport, but a huge area between Tacloban and Papal Nunciature and the Archbishop residence. So that is, again, another consideration. Now, as far as the security committee is concerned, it is headed both by the Secretary of Interior and the Department of National Defense. But when it comes to the Pope's security, it's a PSG because he is also a head of state. So that is how it is divided. But there is a security committee both from the church as well as from government.
Okay, due to time constraint.
Take note sa ating lahat, no, maobserbahan nyo, pag ang ating mahal na Papa, meron siyang close-in security, no, mga nakamerkanang itim. Ito yung mga tinatawag na Swiss guards. No. For the last 500 years, since the 16th century, for the last 500 years, ito ang nakatutok sa Papa, no, to protect. Their mission is to protect the Pope, no, at all times. Swiss guards. Mga 18 to 30 years old sila, binata, Katoliko, no? At sa ating mga Pilipina, walang asawa. No, yan, no? Sila yung 5'8" ang height nila. The minimum height is 5'8", no? Binata sa kanilang tour of duty 3 years, no? From Switzerland, Katoliko, no? And they are the close-in of the Holy Father, and they will close in security of the Holy Father at ang kanilang mission to protect the life of the Pope for the last 500 years. Yeah. Well, we have to talk that out with the government. Sila ang bahala with the PSG, with the PNP. Meron tayong relationship sa kanila dyan.
Close-in securities, how many close-in securities?
Of course, it is security. That's why classified information. No? Sabi nga nila I have to inform you, but I have to kill you. Sabi na James Bond. No, yan.
Okay, due to time constraint, you're down to your last 2 questions. So the gentleman on
Sir,
with
on
the
the
blue polo.
thank you.
Yes.
On the church side, will there be a point in the Pope's visit when the Philippine Catholic Church or some representatives will report to the Pope some issues local issues related to the Catholic Church in the Philippines, like sex abuse cases or certain controversial issues? When will that briefing happen to the Pope?
Well, for one, the church is always abreast with the issues happening in the Philippines. And Cardinal Tagle is always communicating with Vatican, especially the Holy Father, Pope Francis. But I believe that these issues will come in due time. They will be discussed in due time. What is important as of this moment is to give a rousing welcome to the Holy Father and to accord him with Filipino hospitality. And I believe that the different issues which are predominant in the Pope's visit are his meeting with the poor, with the families, and with the young people. No? All in the spirit of mercy and compassion.
Okay, last question.
Yung nakaraang Veritas Truth Survey, no, na aping sinabi sa inyo, 1,200 respondents, ano ang gusto ng mga Pilipino na talakayin ng mahal na Papa, no? Ang majority ang nagsabi, talakayin ng Santo Papa paano lumalim ang pananampalataya. Pangalawa, talakayin ng Santo Papa tungkol sa pamilya. At pangatlo, tungkol sa kabataan. No? Yan ang survey na lumabas. No? Palalimin ng pananampalataya, paano palalimin ng pananampalataya sa pamilya, no? Buhay ng pamilya at sa mga kabataan. Okay.
Okay, last question coming from the lady in black and white.
I'm NJ Wieland. I'm attending for National Catholic Reporter. I have two. One is a follow-up to Jim. I just wanted to know, last time the military ordinariate, the Catholic chaplains had some role in security, maybe not of the Pope, but other officials. Are they going to be mobilized this time for this visit? What is the role of the military ordinariate in security or anything? And
Yes, they will participate, as I know that in the committee, the church is also involved. So they are participating.
we'll contact them then.
Matter of fact, mayroong meeting with Bishop Tumulak, no, which is the head of the military ordinariate. No, they are very much in the loop, no, and in charge, no, of this preparation also.
Okay. All right. Okay, the floor is now closed for questions. And now for the closing statement, let's hear from Father Anton.
Before the closing statement, we'd like to inform you next week, our third pre-papal visit media briefing will be December 2, no? 1 p.m. Here at this place, the Knights of Columbus building, and the topic would be the Malacanang ceremony of the Holy Father with the President and the Diplomatic Corps. So please be here next week.
Okay, attending in this conference are Cardinal Tagle and Bishop Milo Vergara, and also Secretary Coloma from the government.
So muli po, pasalamat tayong muli at ipagdasal po natin ang tagumpay ng Mercy and Compassion Papal Visit 2015. At ang ating pinag-usapan ngayon ay umiikot sa apat na bahagi, no? Ang kaligtasan ng mahal na Papa at ng publiko, sapagkat ang buhay po ay banal at mahalaga sa plano ng Diyos. Pangalawa, ang tight collaboration ng church and government for the arrival, transportation, accommodation, and security. Pangatlo, mahalaga din po na yung simplicity, no? Hindi bongga. Ayon ng mahal na Papa na bongga, no, ang ating preparation, pero simple. The simplest possible. Ang mahalaga is the essence of the visit, which is mercy and compassion, especially for the victims of calamities. At ang pangapat, naway madama ng Santo Papa ang the famous hospitality of the Filipinos. Amen? Amen.